Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1544 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transitioned originally from brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. In 2017, I started that transition, kind of fiddled around for that first year, became a certified ClickFunnels partner. Then that was a great way to dive into, okay, here's the process for creating an online business. And then I started going down the paths and the trails, like so many other people, of chasing the next shiny object syndrome. I never really had time in my offline life, in my offline world, to chase shiny objects or to be distracted by different paths. But I found it was very easy because there's so much stuff thrown at you when you go online if you start looking for it. And I went down some trails and learned some lessons of what isn't for me and what is for me. So now I just create and follow my own path. And once in a while, I pay attention to what's going on with other people, but I don't follow them religiously like I used to. I mean, there were certain people online that I really loved to follow, and I found that I was spending more time and energy paying attention to what they were creating than creating my own thing. So I stopped doing all of that. I kind of went cold turkey. I like to go cold turkey in my challenges. Right now, I'm doing no sugar thing for 10 days, just because I want to prove that I can, mostly because I like sugar. And with all the holidays and things and birthdays at the beginning of the year, I tend to slip in some of my good habits. So we're working back on those. But our idiom, our expression today for supersize your business, we're doing spiritual related idioms that tie into business growth and development as part of my trying to be more aligned and consistent this year with respect to my annual challenge and then the work that I do with my Supersize Your Business group and clients. So in order to do that, as we're going through the different areas and aspects of the life framework, which my life framework has 9 areas: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, and communication and confidence, which I added last year, a year ago at this time, a little bit, about a year and a week ago. So started adding confidence and communication to areas that I work on and set goals in and focus on and do something every day to continuously improve. So we'll talk about those as part of the challenge this year as well. So this month we're talking about spiritual well-being, and our idiom or expression for Supersize Your Business Day was baptism by fire. The one day that I want the Facebook flames background and frame, of course it's not available. Now watch, it'll be back tomorrow, because that's things seem to go on Facebook, unless of course it's from a Chinese or a Russian creator, and then those accounts have been canceled. I don't think all the Chinese ones have, but I think all the Russian accounts have been canceled. So my favorite filter used to be from obviously someone that was Russian, because that one was one of the first ones to disappear. So hopefully the flames aren't gone forever and that they'll come back again, because every once in a while I get an idiom or an expression that flames are perfectly appropriate for. I can't remember what the other ones have been, but there have been a couple. But baptism by fire would have, of course, been perfect to have the flames shooting out of my head. So baptism by fire, of course, biblical reference from at least the New Testament, Matthew 3:11, where John the Baptist talks about ordeals and martyrdom, and that sometimes we have to go through baptism by fire. And it's also referenced other places, but that's the primary one. Also, since 1857, it has been used as in a metaphorical sense to mean anytime somebody goes through an initiation or a really difficult time. So it fits really appropriately to how we build and supersize and grow our business, because I have yet to meet a business owner that didn't have at least one challenge or trial or tribulation or baptism by fire, or one problem they had to solve and figure out as they're building and growing and supersizing their business. If you have been one of those fortunate people to never have had a challenge like that or a baptism by fire moment, share in the comments below, because we want to know how the heck you've done it. COVID-19 for sure has been a huge baptism by fire for billions of people, right? We've had to do and face things that we never thought we'd have to figure out and face before. Many of us for the first time. Many people found themselves unemployed and without an income for the very first time during COVID pandemic. Many businesses found themselves really strapped and challenged and actually shut down, had to figure out what was next and what was going to happen for them during the pandemic. And of course, millions of businesses survived, but millions of businesses also did not survive that particular baptism by fire. Not everybody survives baptism by fire, right? So that was our idiom for today. Our topic for Supersize Your Business was the timeline exercise. One of my favorite exercises is going back and looking at our life and then graphing on a big timeline, just like you used in history class, a timeline of events leading up to a war or a revolution or something. We all studied timelines. The founding of the new world, whatever. I don't remember history. It was a long time ago. So it's my history. Today we're taking our spiritual past, the things that happened in the past, and we're graphing on our timeline. And I've got a better one than this. This is just the one I use as an example. Spiritual high and low points in our life so far. And then I start with my birthday. I just do 1960, and then I go to 2021 last year, and then 2022 this year. And I haven't graphed this last year's worth yet, but I use a different color on my big one. And then there's the top is the ultimate in any area or aspect of our life, and then this whole area I use to graph the different ups and downs, highs and lows. So for me personally, spiritually, probably from the time I was 21, 22 on, I had a decline in my spirituality. There were some ups and downs, and my kids went to Catholic school and things like that. But spirituality and religion and faith and things sort of took a back seat because I was emphasizing other areas and aspects of my life. And then in 2010, I had my sudden cardiac arrest, and that changed everything for me from a spiritual standpoint. And I would say since the end of 2010 into 2011 and beyond, my spirituality is taking a straight line up toward what I want it to be and how I want to show up in the world. And hopefully that will continue until my demise when I leave this planet once and for all. So those were the pieces of content we created today. I've got my usual scheduled things today, but I'm also doing some organizing projects, which are not my forte, but I love them when they're done. So I'm organizing and filtering out and cleaning out. It's part of just an overarching simplification of my life. The older I get, the more I want to declutter, which I could probably start with my background, right? And simplify my life. So curious what you're working on. If I can help you in any way, remember, ask. You can Voxer me. You can direct message me. I guarantee that in 5 minutes or less, no matter how stuck you think you are, we can get you to the next step. Not all the steps to get you where you want, but the next step, the next thing you need to do. Because when we take that next step, it leads to the one after that and the one after that. And pretty soon we find that we're not stuck anymore and we're making momentum toward what it is that we want. Have an absolutely fabulous Friday. It happens to be Friday in my neck of the woods. And if I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow just to let you know what you're up to now. Have a great day.